Welcome back to Microbial Concepts. So this is another staining technique, endospore staining. Already videos are uploaded for gram staining with Viva questions, then acid fast staining again with Viva questions, and lastly I uploaded about capsule staining. Right. So today we will discuss about endospore staining with Viva questions. Okay. So if you don't know in details about endospore formation or endospores functions or why bacteria produces endospores and all, then a detailed video is uploaded on my channel, and even steps in endospore formations are discussed. So you can watch that video. I will mention the link in description box. Okay, so you can enjoy that, learning that first, and then you can do this video, you can go through this video for your practicals. Okay, so this is only from practical point of view. Okay, so for theory, please watch that video first. So let's start. So just briefly, what are endospores? Okay, so some bacteria, we know that they produce some dormant resistant structures which are called as endospores. Okay, so this ability is restricted to some bacteria. Okay, not all bacteria they produce endospores, right? So some genus which are well known for endospore formation are like Bacillus, Clostridium, Sporolactobacillus, Desulfotomaculum, and Sporosarcina. Okay, so prepare these examples for your Viva, because you may get a question like name some endospore forming bacteria. So you can name these. So endospores are uh, small spores which are produced by bacteria, by the vegetative cells. Okay, and they are very resistant, they are very dormant. That means for long time the vegetative cell which is or which has undergone endospore formation, that can remain viable. Okay, it will not grow and multiply, but it will remain viable for long time. Okay, so when this happens, so under some adverse environmental conditions, vegetative cells of these bacteria they produce endospore. Okay, so say there is low water present or low moisture present in the environment, there is starvation condition, okay, or some extreme conditions, um, like no glucose is present at all. Okay, so now the cell it decides to go under endospore formation, go for endospore formation. Okay, so mostly Bacillus is or it undergoes endospore formation when there is low carbon source. Okay, so it is easy to even develop endospores in your culture. Okay, just provide some adverse effects or some adverse conditions like starvation or low moisture content or some other conditions. Okay, so due to these conditions your culture will start producing or developing endospores. Okay, so as I told you, they remain dormant for a very long time. Okay, so when they get favorable nutrition conditions, okay, they start germinating. Okay, so you can compare this with fungal spores. When the environmental conditions are good enough for their development, the fungal spore starts germinating and a new fungal structure develops. Correct? So this is in same way, but endospores are not considered as mode of replication, right? Or um, not even mode of what we can say multiplication. Okay, so it is one of the means to just survive. See, okay, so one cell will produce endospore, so only one cell, one vegetative cell will get out of that endospore. Okay, or the endospore it germinates to give only one vegetative cell, right? So there you will not get two cells. Okay, so that's why it is said that it is not considered as a mode of multiplication or replication. Okay, so it is just the mean to survive under adverse conditions. Okay, so endospores they are resistant to heat and UV. Okay, and they remain dormant for very long time. Okay, so these are the main characteristics of endospores. Okay, it helps bacteria, so they are useful for these genus, bacterial genus, okay, as it provides protection from heat and UV, and even the culture can remain dormant for very long time, okay. So there are two types of endospore staining, okay. Most widely Schaffer-Fulton method is used, okay, this one first, and the other one is quite easy, that is Dorner's method. So even this method is also used in some colleges, okay. So depends that which method you are using, so you will get Viva questions on that, okay. So I will discuss both of these methods here today, right. So in Schaffer-Fulton method, you require a sporulated bacterial saline suspension, then you will require a malachite green 5% weight by volume solution, then safranin 5.5%. Okay, so these are two dyes which are used in endospore staining, right. So you will see a picture is given below where you will find that green color uh, spherical structures which are endospores, they are stained by malachite green, okay. That's why the endospores, they get green color, whereas safranin, it stains vegetative cells, okay. In case of Dorner's method, you just required a sporulated bacterial saline suspension, then 10% nigrosin solution and ZnCF solution, that is Ziel-Nielsen carbolfuchsin. Okay, so that solution is required. So here, because of ZnCF solution, endospores are stained red or pink. Okay, and the nigrosin solution, it stains the background. Okay, so this is the difference between um, Schaffer-Fulton method and Dorner's method. Here your vegetative cells are stained pink, but here your vegetative cells are colorless. Okay, we are not staining cells here, we are just focusing on endospore and the background. Okay, so get the contrast developed, we use the 10% nigrosin solution which stains the background. Okay, so let's move further. So we will see principle and procedure here. So in case of Schaffer-Fulton method, you take a loop full of suspension on slide, you make a smear and you pour malachite green solution onto the smear. Okay, then you apply heat for say 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, so heat properly so that it helps the malachite green to enter the endospores. Okay, heat acts as the mordant or accentuator which helps the stain to penetrate endospores. Okay, so after heating for 6 to 7 minutes, remove excess stain, okay, and allow your slide to cool down a little bit, okay, and then pour safranin solution on your smear. Then now allow to react it for another 5 minutes, okay, and then you discard your safranin. So safranin will stain your vegetative cells. Now allow your slide to air dry and then observe under oil immersion lens, that is 100x, right. So the principle behind this Schaffer-Fulton method is that the spore coat is impermeable to most of the dyes. Okay, so by using heat as accentuator, permeability of the spore coat is increased, or we can say it is altered. Okay, so due to which malachite green penetrates the spore coat and it stains the endospore. So in further steps where you remove the excess stain and you add the safranin. So on addition of safranin, the vegetative cells or the vegetative part of the cells, they take up the secondary stain which is the safranin, and it is also known as Fulton's stain. Okay, and due to this safranin, you observe your vegetative cells which are stained pink. Okay, so here we are not focusing on the background, we are trying to just stain our vegetative cells and endospores. So if you have if you get a very old sporulated culture, then you will not find vegetative cells, or very less number of vegetative cells you will find. Okay, so depends on how old or how much your culture is sporulated, the number of spores, endospores will differ. Okay, So just say 48 hours old starved bacterial culture if you're using for endospore staining, then you may find about 50% spores. But if your culture is say about 4 to 5 days old, then around 80% to 90% endospores you will find under endospore staining. Okay, so now let's move towards Donner's method. So the procedure is like you take a loopful of suspension on slide, you make a smear. Okay, now allow to air dry your smear. Okay, and then heat fix it. Now pour the ZnCF solution onto the smear and apply heat for about 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, so even here we are using heat as accentuator. So as ZnCF, which is Ziel-Nielsen carbofuchsin solution, it stains your endospores. It is working as accentuator. Heat is working as accentuator to allow this ZnCF solution to enter endospores. Okay, then discard this excess solution of ZnCF after heating for 5 to 7 minutes. Discard the excess solution and wash your slide under tap water. Okay, and allow it to air dry. Okay, so this is very important step here, because now you are going to add nigrosin solution such that it forms a thin layer, okay, on smear, right? We don't need to flood, you don't need to flood your smear by nigrosin solution. You just add sufficient quantity of your solution so that it will just form a thin layer. Okay, and this will help to stain your background. Okay, so now after adding this nigrosin solution, just allow your slide to air dry and then observe under oil immersion lens. Okay, that is 100x. Okay, so here we are not focusing on vegetative cells. Okay, so vegetative cells will remain colorless. Fine. So what is the principle behind Donner's method? So as we know that endospores are resistant to most of the dyes, the spore coat does not allow the entry of ZnCF. So we apply a physical accentuator, which is heat, okay, or steam, and this will help the ZnCF solution to penetrate spore coat, and it will stain endospores as red or pink. Okay, and nigrosin is the another stain that we are using in this method, will stain your background, but your vegetative cells are not stained. Your vegetative cells would remain colorless. Okay, so this is the principle behind Donner's method. So mostly if you are working with bacillus, you may get something like this. Okay, so this is image of sporulated bacillus culture. Okay, so you will find rod shaped vegetative cells which are stained as pink, and malachite green stains your endospore green. Okay, so this is by Schaffer-Fulton method. Right, so now we will see some Viva questions. Okay, so very basic and very common are like, what is endospore and what is the function of endospore and why bacteria produces endospores. Okay, then another question you may get is like, is it a mode of replication? Means forming or developing endospore, is it considered as mode of replication? So it is not considered as mode of replication. It is just a means of survival, okay, by bacteria. Then endospores are resistant to what? Then give some examples of endospore forming bacteria. Then which stain or dye it stains endospores in Schaffer-Fulton method, and in Donner method which stains or which dye stains the endospores. Okay, so in case of Schaffer-Fulton, malachite green stains your endospores, and in case of Donner's method, ZnCF solution, that is Ziel-Nielsen carbofuchsin solution, stains your endospore. Okay, then why heating is required in endospore staining? This is very important question. Then another you may get like, endospore is made up of what? Okay, so for this question you need to watch the theory behind endospores. Okay, so that video is already uploaded, to watch that video, so you will get answer to this question. Then which dye stains background blue in endospore staining? So here you need to know the technique in which the background is blue. So that is Dorner's method or Dorner's technique, in which background is stained blue by nigrosin solution. Okay, and endospores are stained by ZnCF solution. So name of the technique is Dorner's technique or Dorner's method. Okay, so this was all about endospore staining. So I am left with now flagella staining. So soon I will upload a video on that. So I hope you like my video, and do share these videos with your friends and even tell them to subscribe to my channel. Fine, so I hope you like my videos. If you want some videos on some other topics, then you can reach out to me on Gmail, or you can just mention the topic in comment box. Okay, thank you for watching this video and keep learning.